Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So excited that my new record, Modern Age, is coming out tomorrow. Yes! So pumped. And this is my friend and producer, Lucas Morton, here with me today. I asked him to join me so that we could kind of talk about the process of making Modern Age, and yeah, it'll be a good discussion.
I do believe so.
Nice. Okay, cool. Well, the very first song on Modern Age is called 80s Baby. And I wrote the song. It's a very nostalgic song. I wrote the song with my friend Peter Grunwald. And I really wanted to try to capture how my childhood felt. I grew up in a small city in East Tennessee called Johnson City. And I had a really good childhood. It was a very freeing time. I got to play with my friends a lot and spent a lot of time outside, and I had a lot of independence. So, good memories there. Here's 80s Baby.
Hi, Jill. It's Mom. I was wondering whether you guys were running. I thought maybe I might drop off the
Blank tape in my boombox, only a matter of time. Finger on the red button, waiting for the intro of Strawberry Wine. She sang it for me. My first love left me around that time. After school I'd call Lisa, still know her number by heart. Ride my bike up to see her, Princess Peach playing Mario Kart. Don't worry, Mama, when the streetlights come on, I'll be home. I'm an 80s baby, I'm an 80s baby. I've been thinking lately how much has changed. I'd rather you call instead of texting me. I wanna hear your voice. I'm an 80s baby, I'm an 80s baby. Walk the rows of Blockbuster, look for the ones that we talked about. Tell me Back to the Future isn't already rented out. We watched it so much, I could quote almost every line. I'm an 80s baby, I'm an 80s baby. I've been thinking lately how much has changed. I'd rather you call instead of texting me. I wanna hear your voice. I'm an 80s baby, I'm an 80s baby. Yeah, you better believe it. changed. I'd rather you call instead of texting me. I wanna hear your voice. I'm an 80s baby. I'm an 80s baby. Yeah, you better believe it. Yeah, you better believe it. I'm an 80s baby. I'm an 80s baby.
All right, so that was 80s Baby. Yeah, Lucas, do you wanna just talk about the process of
Yeah.
us recording that?
Absolutely. To start, we did the whole record in Nashville. And this song really kind of early on when we were picking songs, it kind of felt like, oh, this is track one on the record. I don't
yeah.
know if you remember that.
Yeah, I
but
do.
we were like, the bookends started to really kind of make sense to us, and we started to see a theme, and 80s Baby was like that first step. And I remember in the studio, we were trying to find a good like tempo, which is like a beat per minute, like the beat of the song. And we were having a hard time finding the right tempo because it kind of felt like the opening of the song needed to kind of bloom.
Yeah.
And it needed to kind of start from this like small thing and then kind of blossom into this idea or this vision or this nostalgic like blast to the past of some sort, like this mirror almost.
Yeah.
And Tyler Chester, who was one of the players on the record, he played piano on this song. He just came up with that dun 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 dun. He just came up with that kind of out of nowhere, and it really set the tone. But we were like, there's no like real meter, there's no real beat to that. So we kind of had to almost think about it in a classical, like almost floaty kind of way. So we decided to do this song off the click, which means we weren't listening to a click track. And was
we added there was I had a voice memo of my mom that we added to the front, and Lucas like affected it in a lot of different ways, so you can't really tell exactly what she's saying, but that makes it really special because I mentioned my mom in the song, and it's just like her words are you can just tell that she cares about me because what she's saying is just talking about hanging out or coming over or something like that, and it's really it's
with
special.
the voicemail and just kind of the swirling elements that kind of focus in to the solo piano. It really sets the tone for the record, I think. Okay, and so we should talk about Connection too. So Connection is the next song. And actually, maybe we'll just play it and then we'll talk about it. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Here it is.
What is love in the modern age? Flickering screen, a beloved face so close to me, so far away. I just wanna hold your hand. If we lived in another time, would you have followed another line that led to me? A thread to find, tie together separate lives. Reaching out through the static, finding time while we have it. If you lose me, don't pay.
Okay, sweet. So we just heard Connection, which is the second song on my new record, Modern Age. And Connection, I actually wrote with Lucas Morton and Taylor Linhart. And we wrote it at Lucas's studio in East Nashville. I came into the writing process with an idea. Basically, my husband was out of town, and he had been out of town for a few months. He's in the military, and he was in training, and it was really, really tricky because he'd just been out of town for so long, and we were really missing each other. And so we were connecting through FaceTime most every night, you know, and so that song is just, you know, it's kind of about like the connection that you have with someone like in a real way, but also the way that technology can connect us these days, and how helpful it can be. Because like if we would have had this relationship years and years ago, we would have been writing letters to each other, and that would have been very hard.
Totally.
Yeah. So yeah. Do you want us to speak into the production of it, or the writing?
Yeah. No. I remember that very well. Taylor, I mean, she brought so much great energy to that write, and I've honestly, in many ways, felt like a spectator.
No.
But yeah, recording it was so much fun because I mean, it's kind of different than anything else, really, kind of on your catalog. I mean, we kind of treated it like a rock. Like almost kind of like the Outfield, you know.
Yeah,
if,
like a
if
rock
you know
song.
if you know who the Outfield is, it's a '80s band. But it's kind of like got these echoes of that '80s thing while still like paying close attention to like what's being said, what's being sung.
Yeah.
And that was a hard mix to crack. I remember when it was time for mix, because there were a lot of different elements going on, and we wanted the energy to stay up, but it was dense. It's just a lot of energy, you know, which oftentimes it feels like the modern age because there's just a lot going on, and it feels like a hard place in time to be connected in general, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But that's what I think of when I hear the song. Anyways.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Well, the next song is called High Fives, and let's check it out.
I was a kid, I used to dream the floor was a trampoline. I could run and do handsprings through the living room. So I got one for the yard, but making money makes jumping hard. I traded in for a nicer car and a better view. I'm just gonna say, sometimes I wish I could have it back. Just gonna say I miss missing high fives while you drive me home in the afternoon. We'll turn up the heat real high on a summer day to see if we can make it through.
All right, so that was High Fives. High Fives is a song that I wrote with my friend Peter Gronwald. And for those of you guys that know Hush Kids, Peter is my partner in Hush Kids, and we love writing together. We try to write together as much as we possibly can. And so this song is about my high school, like a lot of my high school memories. It's about a lot of different people that I went to high school with, like a lot of really close friends, but specifically it's about my friend Ben, who used to take me home from school a lot of times, and it was like a 15-minute drive. And when it was really, really hot, we used to roll the windows up in his car and turn the heat on like full blast and just try to make it all the way home. And we would be sweating, but we'd be laughing hysterically the whole time just because it was so silly and so dumb.
Kids are so weird.
And,
Gosh.
and
We all were.
yeah.
Totally.
And I don't know, just like those kind of moments. I was really, really hyper focusing on those kind of moments, like those silly moments that just bring a lot of joy, that brought a lot of joy to my life. And that's kind of the realm that I really thrive in.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny hearing you talk about the joyful element of that, and then like listening to the song, it kind of zooms in and kind of in an ominous kind of like sad way.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
because that was in your childhood.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much I feel like now that, you know, at least in my life, I think about like I wish that there was the simplicity of all of that, you know, or just the simplicity of the being in the situation where you can be dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
do.
like there's sadness coupled with that, and I think I
Oh, for
remember
sure.
we were kind of like trying to hone in on that a little bit in the studio
Yeah.
too, where it was just like there's this feeling of like I want to go back. You know,
Yeah.
I
Well,
wish we could go back.
That song in particular, I remember other people were saying, "Oh, this particular song is so sad," and they were talking about all these other songs, and I was like, I think one of the saddest songs is High Fives, and
Totally.
it doesn't really have that like in production, it doesn't have that vibe as much, but I mean, it does, and it doesn't, but
Yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
when I was singing it in the studio, it was really hard to sing. But yeah, I love
Yeah.
that one.
I do too.
Okay, so the next song is Better Life. So let's check that one out.
Tell me how you really feel now. Last time I saw you, you wouldn't tell anyone. Does it even seem real now? Old pictures of you, just strangers there on the wall. With your arm around another man in another life.
All right, so we just heard Better Life, and I wrote Better Life by myself. I actually wrote it about a childhood friend of mine that lived in my neighborhood. Growing up, we were very close. We rode the bus together, and we had a lot of moments of just like hanging out. We went to see Titanic in the theater together, which is a real moment.
It's
But
a big deal.
yeah, and so this particular friend of mine, she passed away a few years ago, and I was asked to play at her memorial service. And so I drove back to my hometown in East Tennessee to do that, and it really afforded me some time. Like, I went solo, and it afforded me some time to just drive around in my neighborhood and see my old house and see my old stomping grounds. And I just really had the brain space and the presence of mind to just like really kind of sit with all of that and remember. I mostly I live in the present and I live in the future, but I really rarely live in the past. And so that's why this album is pretty special for me, because it really, in that moment in time, I just was able to really remember some beautiful moments with my friend and just a lot of beautiful childhood memories. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean the song really kind of takes you into the sadness of that situation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good, Jill. I remember feeling like we really had to do this song justice when you played that for me the first time, and I remember just feeling like I was going to cry, and it was just so... I cried several times when you were playing down the songs for the first time.
Yeah.
These were just so profound, and this is one of them. As far as the recording of it goes, I feel like the real star on this song was Juan Solorzano. Juan played the nylon string guitar kind of arpeggiated thing that you hear throughout the whole song. And it kind of creates this dream state, loopy kind of feeling that kind of girds the song throughout the whole thing. And it was truly incredible. Also on this song was Tyler Chester on bass, and he laid down piano afterward. And then Graham Beckler on drums, which he did an incredible job on this song. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was just such a special interpretation of the song for sure. Yeah.
All right. The next one is Kids. Let's check that one out.
Where are the cool kids now? Still smoking stems in the back of their parents' house. Where are the cool kids now? Leader of the pack, always skipping class, looking to get out. Where are the sad kids now? Sitting in the back of a crowded class where the head hung down. Where are the sad kids now? Quiet on the bus with a long ride home to an empty house. If I could go back, I'd say that you gotta give it time, time, time. You gotta give it time, time, time. You're just doing your best, like all the rest of us. You gotta give it time, a time, a time. kids now, throwing stones with gritted teeth and a borrowed scowl. Where are the mean kids now? Hope they let someone get close enough to let the walls fall down. Give it time, time, time. You gotta give it time, time, time. You're just doing your best, just doing your best, like all the rest of us. You gotta give it time, a time, a time. When you're growing up, you're feeling all the changes. We all go through so many different phases, and life hasn't always been kind. Gotta give it time, time, time. You gotta give it time, a time, a time. You gotta give it time, a time, a time. And it'll be alright. I hope you'll be alright. Hope you'll be alright. Hope you'll be alright.
All right, so we just heard Kids. I wrote this one with Peter Grunwald. Again, love him.
Killer.
Killer guy. Such a beautiful vocalist and lyricist, and just awesome. Love Peter. And this song, I have kids, and gosh, kids are going through a hard time at this moment in their lives, at this moment in the world, and I think during this period of time, I was really feeling that, and I just wanted to. I remember high school, and that's what the song is really about. It's about, just the hierarchy of people in high school. It's like the cool kids and
Totally.
the sad kids and the mean kids. They're like, I remember all those people. I remember a kid that used to wear camouflage every day to school, and I don't ever remember hearing him talk.
Right.
And I was thinking about him when we were writing this, and just like, just wondering what he was thinking, like,
Totally.
what was going on in his head and in his world. And anyways, it's a song that we wrote kind of as a, I don't know, just like a way to say, like, it's gonna be okay. Like, this hierarchy isn't gonna always be this way. Like, these people that you think are cool right now are not necessarily gonna be cool in 20 years. Or maybe they will be, but either way, like, this is not the end all be all. And
Yeah.
and yeah, the time is, it's it doesn't last forever. All these bad feelings and confusing feelings. So.
Yeah. I feel like this song, from a production standpoint, was like a big science experiment. Because this is also a song that I feel like is kind of a bit of a frontier in the in the Jill Andrews world, I think it's kind of got this like new spin and kind of a new flavor, and it's like kind of spliced up. Like we had some piano hits that we had taken and we had put it in an MPC, an Akai MPC, which is like a little beat thing where you hit the little things, hit the pads. And Tyler Chester was hitting each pad, and a piano chord would play, but it would sound kind of like a sample, like a tape splice or something like that. And that began to become like kind of the foundation of the song.
Yeah.
And in the search to be cool, so to say, like we all tried to be when we were kids, or our own version of cool, I think this is maybe our version of trying to be cool.
That makes sense.
With the song, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
So
I think you're cool.
yeah, you think so?
Cool.
Oh
Okay.
wow. Oh my God. Thank you. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of how I imagined the song in a way. It was like, this is kind of our version of like trying to be the cool kid, and
That's cool.
You like that?
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that a lot. All right, so the next song is Wrong Place, Wrong Time. Let's listen to it.
The light shines on your face every single day, but you turn yourself away to brave the night. By the time the clouds roll in, some will lose and some will win. Some will take it on the chin and some blame the sky. You're always in the wrong place at the wrong time. If the lining's ever silver, it's impossible to find. Your glass can be half full, but your cup's the empty kind. You're always in the wrong place at the wrong time. Looks like the light is red. It's a parking lot ahead. The traffic should be dead this time of day. When you finally get home, no one calls your telephone. When you find yourself alone, you start to cry. 'Cause you're always in the wrong place at the wrong time. If the lining's ever silver, it's impossible to find. Your glass can be half full, but your cup's the empty kind. You're always at the wrong time. Your glass could be overflowing, but your cup's the empty kind. You're always in the wrong place at the wrong time. You're always in the wrong place at the wrong time. You're always in the wrong place at the wrong time. At the wrong
All right, so that was Wrong Place, Wrong Time, and I wrote this song by myself. This song is basically kind of just me processing like how hard it is to be grateful as a person. It feels like it should be easier because, you know, for me, personally speaking, it's easy to get disgruntled and it's easy to think about all the things that you don't have or the things that you wish you had, and not really focus on the things that you do have and the things that you do have, and if you didn't have, you would be so much worse off or really in a deficit.
Yep.
And so, yeah, this is just kind of me thinking on that. And, you know, it's like, I think I ran into some people kind of on the road. There's some really dangerous drivers here in Nashville, some shitty drivers. Just like some people like racing up the interstate where it's just man.
It's no joke.
Yeah. It's like, and they're just like flipping you off, and I mean, it probably happens.
Oh, yeah.
It probably happens everywhere, but it's
Totally.
like that kind of mindset where I don't know, I was just kind of in that mindset at that moment, just wishing that like we could all just take a moment to breathe and be grateful.
Yeah, totally. I honestly like, I was talking to Taylor Linhart about this earlier today, but we were talking about Wrong Place, Wrong Time and thinking like this is a song that is for everybody, that everybody needs to hear, and it's truly like one of the best songs I've ever heard.
Oh, thanks.
Like I truly believe that. And I remember when you played it for the first time, I was like, is this a real song? Jill, come on now. Like, this is incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Like, it's such a great song, and it's for everybody. And it's not just lyrically, but, like, I think melodically, there's this, like, it made me think of, like, a Randy Newman song. That's kind of, like, why when you showed it to me on guitar, I was like, should this be a piano song? Possibly? Like... And we had played that demo, and it was just like, oh shit, this needs to be a piano song.
Yeah.
And this is another song that we didn't do to a click track because it felt like it needed to breathe and have this kind of amorphous life to it. And that bridge was a lot of fun. It's
that was a whole
wild.
Evolution.
It
Lucas
was a
and I,
whole
like, you'll hear
evolution.
a choir.
Yeah.
And that was just me and Lucas.
That was
but
yeah.
it was a lot of Lucas. Because Lucas grew up well, you
Yeah.
were in college, you were in
I was
the choir.
in college I was in choir. In high school I was in a show choir. I'm a choir boy. So is Peter Groenewald.
He was singing the lowest notes I've ever heard a human sing. He was like, oh. And
It was
just
crazy.
to be,
Maybe I could do it. No, it's no.
just to be in the presence of that.
I can't believe I just did that.
It was great. I loved it. But yeah, so that choir is me and Lucas, and man, the interlude that you played on the piano is really, really.
It was so much fun to do.
Beautiful.
It was so much fun to do. Thank you. And this another funny fact was this was the last song. I don't remember this, but we tracked this. It was the last song that we did on the second day.
Oh, on the second day.
And Graham Beckler had to.
He was the drummer.
Lovely, sweet, awesome Graham, who played drums on the whole record. He wasn't expecting the session to go as late as it did, and he actually had a bus call later that night. He was playing with Russell Dickerson. And I had to call very last minute my buddy John Truman, who's also an amazing, excellent drummer, and he lived like a few blocks away, and he came in and slayed it. Did a great job.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a funny thing, you know, John Truman coming in and helping. And hey, yeah, I'll save the rest of the shout outs for later songs.
Yeah, sounds
But,
good.
yeah.
All right, let's listen to the next song, which is Dark Days. Here it is.
Well, I found you in the office with your head hung low. Guess it should have been obvious, but I didn't know. Storm of memories came to find you, brought back feelings that were behind you. And I watched you as your thoughts took you back in time. It was years ago, back before you were mine. Were you dreaming in black and white, holding on so tight, just to say goodbye to your past life? Wherever you go now, I'll follow you down to anywhere. Wherever you go now, on these dark days I will light your way. On these dark days around. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. And I wish I would have held you, but I walked away. I was scared of where you went, so I gave you space. Do you see me there in your mind when you're traveling back in time, following faded lines to your past life? Wherever you go now, I'll follow you down to anywhere. Wherever you go now,
So that was Dark Days. I love this song so much.
Thank you.
You've had it for a good bit,
Yeah.
right? You've had this song for a while. And I feel like the way that it morphed was, it's funny how you imagine songs to become, and then they kind of do like little twists and turns to become what they end up being in the end. And I feel like this song, it arrived when I sent it off to mix, but it didn't like really arrive until Sean Moffat, who mixed the whole record, did what he did, and he made those choruses really kind of come to life and be kind of this undercurrent. Like, the thing is, it gets so small and it gets so big, and I love how that happens. It happens a lot throughout the record, but this is the song where it really happens, where it gets like super small and then it just explodes in a way. I mean, this was a hard one to crack for sure. But the other thing too is we got Ben Kramer,
Right.
from
Old Sea Brigade.
Old Sea Brigade to lend his beautiful voice.
Yeah,
to
he sang all the background vocals on it and
Background
did
vocals.
such a beautiful job. His voice is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. This song, I wrote this one by myself, and Lucas is right. I mean, I kind of had it sitting around for, I don't know, a few years, really.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I do. That's kind of my process. I get ideas and I record them on my phone, and I make sure that I title them in a smart way so that I'll come back to it. I always, actually, it's not that smart. I really just write idea
Smart
next
to
to
you.
it. Yeah, I write idea next to it, or good idea.
Yeah, totally.
And anything that says
Smart
that in my
enough.
phone, I'll come back to you. But yeah, so this song is basically just about, we all go through really hard times, and someone in my life was going through a really hard time at this point, and it's just about like standing by them, and making sure that they know that they're loved. So
Yeah.
all right, you want to listen to Patience?
Let's do it.
All right, here it is, Patience, featuring my friend Anthony DaCosta.
When I see you waking in the morning, I'm nervous. I can always tell when it's a difficult day. It could have something to do with a late night. I wonder if we're on the same page. And the mirror tells no lies, and neither do your eyes. It could have something to do with a late night. Grab a rush cup of coffee and my keys from the front door. I'll be ready. I'll be ready. Not today. I won't be hiding. Won't you say it? I'll show you how. I'll be ready. Someone convinced me it's even the daytime. The sun's wrapped in a blanket of clouds. I've hit every hole in the highway. I wonder what you're thinking right now. And the silence tells no lies. It could have something to do with a late night. I'll be ready. I'll be ready. just say it, I'll show you how. I'll be ready, ready. It's in the stars hanging over our bedroom, watching a movie you've already seen. It could have something to do with patience and the way that you believe in me. I'll be ready. I'll be ready. I'll be ready. I'll be
All right, so that was Patience, and I wrote this one with my friend Anthony DaCosta, who is one of my favorite songwriters and musicians in town.
He's so good.
He's so good,
So
and
good.
he plays. I live in Madison, which is like 10 minutes north of, you know this, but 10
Nashville.
minutes north of East Nashville, and Anthony plays at this like honky tonk country bar called Dee's Country Lounge a lot, and I always try to make a point to go see him because he kills it, and
Yeah.
his band is like, I've played with a bunch of his bandmates, Will Honecker,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and
So
and Ross McReynolds,
Yeah.
and so he's so good and so vibrant
good.
on stage. But we got together a while back, and I specifically like pointed at him, and I was like, I want to write with you, and we got together and worked on this song. It's called Patience, and it's just about being in a relationship that, you know, it's kind of about being a work in progress. You know, we kind of all are, but we kind of like, it's about feeling like really deep in that vulnerability of being a work in progress.
Yeah.
And knowing that you are and just owning it, but like always trying to be better.
Yeah.
I think that's always my goal in life, is to work towards, you know, being the best person that I can be. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's about. Do you want to talk about the production
Yeah.
of this one?
Yeah, I mean, this has a lot of irregular bars and a lot of kind of throws you for a loop a little bit. It's not a bunch of even numbers. I love that as a musician. It makes me excited, and I think to a listener, it keeps them on their toes. And so I think this song keeps people on their toes, and in a way, the writing and the way that the chords kind of play off of each other is it's a journey in and of itself. Just the music element, and I had such a blast recording this song. I was just talking with Dustin Ransom, who's going to be playing some shows with you soon.
This weekend.
This weekend, and he just texted me and he's like, dude, patience, and I'm like, yeah, that song is incredible. Like, it's just so, and I usually kind of like do a little bit of a, whatever when somebody calls a song smart, because I'm just like, I want to make a song, and I want to be a part of a song that connects with people.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily just want to make a song that's smart.
No, you want it to be emotional.
But I think that this kind of accomplishes both. It's a very emotional song that's also smart.
That's cool.
So, anyways, I love this song. It's one of my favorites on the record.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next song that we're going to listen to is Sensitive.
I used to be smart at falling apart, waiting for your closed eyes in the dark. When the sun finally came, there was peace again, on my face but not in my heart. Whoa, 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 I'm sensitive. Whoa, 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 not such a bad thing. Got away with words I don't understand, 'cause generally you are such a gentleman. My tears make you angry, your anger makes me cry. You used to say you love my softer side. Whoa, 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 I'm sensitive. Whoa, 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 not such a bad thing. Is it such a bad thing? Bad thing. Why do my fear and sadness make you so nervous? Why do my fear and sadness make you so nervous? Is it a weakness? Is it a weakness? Is it a weakness? Why do my fear and sadness make you so nervous? Why do my fear and sadness make you so nervous? Is it a weakness if I feel it? Is it a weakness if I feel it?
Okay, so we just listened to Sensitive. This one is kind of like my rocker song, like my femme rocker song. I wrote this one a few years ago. I don't know how many, probably several years ago at this point. And I wrote it just like playing the bass, like the bass strings on my acoustic guitar. Like I was playing the bass, and then I switched to the bass, and then anyways, I wasn't ever just like, I don't think I ever played chords on it at all.
Yeah.
I was playing it like I was playing the bass. And yeah, I think this song rings so true for me thematically, because I am so sensitive. I just really, really am. And I feel things all the time, things that I I don't know, like things that shouldn't make me sad make me sad. For instance, I used to be a caterer after college, and
Okay.
when I was catering, I remember I was catering this wedding party,
Uh-huh.
and there was this. I was like pouring drinks during the daddy and daughter dance, and I started bawling. And my friend Amy, who's my best friend in the world, she was catering with me, and she was like, "Do you know them?" And I was like, "No." But I don't know. I think it's a gift, and it's also a curse. You know, like wish I was a little rougher around the edges. But I think, you know, for better or for worse, this is the way I am, and I'm sure that there's good things about it. I know that there are, and
Oh yeah.
you know, but the world kind of takes a sensitive person like me, and some people can be delicate, and some people can just not be, and for a person like me, all I ever want is to be understood and to be listened to, and for someone to be like a soft place to land.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I I mean, as an advocate for you, I've seen you get some edge, on occasion.
Thank
I'm
you.
just saying,
I do
like
have
it's not
some
all
edge.
sensitivity.
I do. You're
so I'm
right.
just
You're
saying.
right.
Um,
You're right.
but yeah, I think this song was a lot of fun to make. Stuff to
Yeah.
point out, you've kind of got this like rocking, like kind of A section of the song, and the B section kind of just goes into this. It kind of reminds me of A Way to Go
Me too.
on
Yeah.
30s.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a bit of an echo
Yeah, that's
to
true.
the last record in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got these like kind of these counter melodic BGV parts that are happening
Mm-hmm.
and kind of creates this sea of something that you don't quite know what's going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's always, again, it's like in order to do that kind of thing, I feel like you have to like assemble the right, you go in with the right game plan. You kind of go in with this idea of like, oh, we want to make sure that this sounds different than this, and then like execute in the studio.
Right.
And I think Logan Matheny and and Joe.
Kazi. No, not Joe Kazi.
No, I'm sorry, I'm blanking right now. But Logan Matheny was the engineer on the record and did an incredible job, and just loved all the sounds that he got, and he was such an inviting spirit in the studio.
Yeah, for sure.
And stuff, and just I feel like a song like that can't really happen unless you have somebody who knows how to kind of change the scene along with the what's needed for the song.
Yeah, and this one was tricky. I remember like we worked on it so much back and forth as far as like, because I had an original vision for this song, and I kind of had what we call demo-itis, where I just really liked the grit that it had, and we definitely got there,
Yes.
which was very, very cool. But it took a while. It took a lot of trial and error.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Joe. Yeah, so the reason why I said Joe earlier was because Corey Halterman's Instagram handle is Morning Joe,
Okay.
or yeah, and I don't know why Corey, but Corey was the assistant engineer on those sessions as well, and he did an incredible job. We did it at 4115
Yep.
in Nashville. Did the whole record there. So, anyways,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, that was sensitive. So the next song is the very last song on the record. It's called Boundless Love, and we'll play it for you now.
I'm a child of the flowers and the trees, When I look up to the sky, I'm at peace. In the quiet, I hear everything, everything I need surrounds us, all around us is boundless love, surrounds us, all around us is boundless love. I'm a child of the rolling stream. It's wild, wild company. In the air, 1,000 spinning leaves. Hear them fall to me. Surrounds us, all around us is boundless love. Surrounds us, all around us is boundless love. And I feel it, I need it now more than ever. And I feel it, I need it now more than ever. Child of flowers, child of trees, you are a child of these, child of falling, spinning leaves. You are a child of these, child of wild, rolling streams. You are a child of these, child of skies, child of seas. You are a child of these. Surrounds us, all around us is boundless love. Surrounds us, all around us is boundless love. Surrounds us, all around us is boundless love. Surrounds us, all around us is boundless love.
All right. So that was Boundless Love, which is the final track on Modern Age. I wrote Boundless Love. Actually, it was years ago, and it was kind of a forgotten song. I wrote it with Trent Dabbs, who is one of my favorite co-writers. We've written a bunch of songs together. We wrote "I'm Not Okay," "River Swimming," "Call It Even." More
Yeah.
songs that I can't think of, but
Totally.
we wrote this one and it wasn't finished. It was like, but it was beautiful, and I
Yeah.
remember thinking that it was beautiful, but it there wasn't a bridge, and so it was kind of an incomplete sort of situation. So I just revisited it, you know, probably whenever,
Mm-hmm.
years
Yeah.
later,
Yeah.
and decided it was worth like digging back into. This song is kind of like, this is like me living my best kind of life, the quintessential best kind of life, Jill Andrews. I just I love nature so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I try to hang out in the woods as much as I possibly can. It's very grounding for me,
Yeah.
and just very, very peaceful. I find the world and all its noise to be very overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
And so I just try to get away from that and get into the woods as much as possible. And so this is a song that we wrote about just, it's kind of a different, it's a love song, but it's like a feeling of being loved by like creation and how
Yeah.
beautiful it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, this might be one of my favorite song. Not only one of my favorite songs on the record, but I think it's one of those moments where it's like, oh, I feel like we might have nailed it, like truly,
Yeah.
and because we did this live, so vocals,
explain
yeah,
what that
so
means.
like, very common in making records to get the performance of the band and then go in afterwards and track vocals. But this one, it just kind of felt like, hey, we should like not be on headphones, like
Just listening in the room.
just listening in the room. And it was me on acoustic, Tyler Chester on rubber bridge guitar, and you, and we were in this kind of triangle, and doing the best we could to like reject the sound from each individual mic, but also the bleed was kind of part of the magic and the necessary thing. And I really feel like we just, again, I just think that we killed this song. I mean, like truly, I think we killed this song, and
Yeah.
I feel like we did it such a service. And Keiko Ying, who is a cellist, fabulous cellist, based out of Rochester, New York, offered her wonderful playing on that song. Like,
Absolutely.
unbelievable work with her string work on that song.
Yep. Anthony DaCosta sang
and
BGV's background vocals.
Yeah.
And then also, after we had recorded the song, Lucas texted me one morning and he was like, I just went outside and recorded the birds.
Yes.
And remember?
Yeah.
And there was like one particular bird that just wouldn't stop. It was a crow. I
Oh,
think,
yeah.
And it was just
Yeah.
like, rah, rah. And you had to kind of edit that
Yeah, I had
one
to
out.
edit the crow out. Sorry, crow.
But yeah, I don't know. I love birds. There's so many birds showing up in my songs.
Totally.
Yeah.
It felt like a really great bookend to the record.
Yeah.
Because like there's the modern age is noisy. It's full.
Very.
It's full. It's
Yeah.
just a lot of information. But at the very end of it is the boundless love of nature and the way that it holds you and the way that it hugs you and says, oh no, it's like child of wonder, that's what you are. You're a child of all of these beautiful like natural things, and so it felt like the natural bookend, because I remember this was a song that was maybe on not like the A list of songs, it was like the B list, because the
Right.
bridge wasn't written yet.
Right.
But I was like, Jill, get on it. Like, you gotta finish this, because
Yeah.
it's so good. It's so special.
Yeah. That's true. I think this is the last song that I played it, right? Isn't
Yeah.
this the song that I played for you? And I was like, we had 9 or 10 songs, and we were kind of trying to decide which one should go and which one should stay. And then I was like, well, I do have this one song. And Lucas was, I remember I played it for you and you started crying. And it was so sweet. And you were like, we cannot not put that on the record. And I was like, well, okay. That's
it was just such a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
No pressure. I was like, in the moment, I was just like, no pressure. But like, this has to be on the record. But no pressure.
No pressure. So much pressure.
But yeah, what a great one to end on.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah. Well, this has been really fun, you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for all of your support. Thanks for listening to the record. As an independent artist, it's like, yeah, the most I can ask for is for you guys to listen and come to my shows. Got a bunch of shows coming up in the UK and in the US, and I'm hitting the road tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be awesome. Gonna have a full band. And yeah, it's going to be great. Oh, we got a question and I wanted to answer that question.
Yeah.
So from Mackenzie, what was the most difficult song to record and why?
What do you think? I know what I think.
Maybe High Fives. I don't know. What do you think?
That one, it's funny because that one maybe took a little while to arrive, quote unquote.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking. It did, yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a very dense song.
Very dense song.
Yeah.
Took a while to arrive, and I totally get that. I think the song that maybe was the hardest to record at the very beginning was 80s Baby. Because we had tried.
That is so true.
Yeah, we had tried a few different routes. Like we had tried to a click, and then we were like, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Like for some odd reason,
it's
not working to play to a click on this song. And then we decided to abandon that.
Yep. Also, when we had Becca Mancari singing BGVs, she came into the studio.
That's right.
She sang on 80s Baby and Kids and Better Life, and she's got the most beautiful voice.
Yes.
She was like, I don't know, the song isn't really hitting me. What if you tried this? And we tried a few different ways of singing it.
Yeah.
And she was like a big part of
she helped to unlock that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
it got unlocked. And,
Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like when you again, it's like kind of when you have this idea at the onset of recording a song, then you have this idea, of course, but the end result might be totally different from that initial idea. It might be some derivative of that idea. It's very rarely exactly that idea.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It always does some sort of thing, and you kind of leave grace for the process to be able to work itself out.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as fun to write a song and then it be exactly that song. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
like, it feels like it's an adventure.
Yeah.
You know, like, the whole process is an adventure. It's really, really
it's like an evolution.
fun. Yeah.
It's like it's like its own evolution, and, there's the song, and then there's this interpretation of the song, which is, it takes it to a new place. And then if another artist takes that song and does another interpretation of it, it's like the song gets to live in these different interpretations. And it's really, truly, I mean, that's kind of the beauty of it, right? And, but these songs, Jill, like I'm such a fan of them, and they were so much fun to record, and the process itself, and the people, and all the hands involved. Joe Causey, who mastered the record, just was an indispensable asset to the team.
Yeah.
Olivia Management, both of our managers. And the team of everybody who released it, and if you wanted Tone Tree, Sean Fowler,
and Elliot Tone Tree, Anyways,
Fairlight Hubbard.
Oh my gosh, Fairlight Hubbard did all the artwork. When I say all the artwork, I mean like this. She designed this and took all the pictures. She's incredible, and I love her so much. You guys, thank you so much for listening and for being here today. It's really really a pleasure. Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you, Jill.
Such a fun guy you are.
Hey,
Such
come on now.
Such a great collaborator you are.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. All right, you guys, take care. See you soon.